There's no blanket, no coat.
Do you think
blast from the lunar ice rink would still be floating in space when these three galaxies combine? I think it would certainly
Across all expressions.
What? Stop! What?
Do you think we're gonna go back to the moon and Mars and stuff? But when we get there, just put a little hockey rink out there. I mean, it's freezing in space, right?
Yeah.
And yeah,
No
I think
refrigeration is necessary. No refrigeration. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, imagine blue line blast just flying off into the nether regions of space, eventually puncturing an alien spacecraft. They track it down. They want revenge. They fly to the moon. They drop off. We get a little tussle, line brawl, Brahmas, aliens. Who doesn't want that?
Well,
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Gloves Off is back. It's been like 7 years and 3 months, 14 days since our last episode, but we're back with a special edition, which we're going to get to a special correspondent here shortly. But today, I'm Chad Seward, joined, of course, with Sam, a.k.a. Ringo, and it is Ringo Starr's birthday today, I do believe.
It's my birthday, 24 time zones even.
Looks great for 82 years old, I think. 83 now. 83
Right,
years
that's what's 64 is when I stopped counting even.
So it's been a while. We've been very busy doing a lot of things which are very important. And we got a lot of information to get to you, so we'll get quickly. Starting with, you've seen the schedule. Schedule's out. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? I've received mixed reviews from the people I've talked to. But it is what it is. It's our schedule. It's what we're going. It's our roadmap to the Robertson Cup. And what you haven't seen that Ringo and I are happy to announce to you today is, as I look at my calendar, make sure that these dates are right. September 2nd and 3rd, we will play right here at the NYTEX Sports Center. It's not announced. This is PreSeason against the New Mexico Ice Wolves. Potentially another team could be joining. We've extended invites to everybody in the South Division, including the new Colorado Grit. So we'll see. We can't go too deep into the week with preseason games because we open the season September 8th and 9th in New Mexico. So road trip right off the bat. But yeah, so preseason games, keep your eye on our socials. You'll see tickets go on sale here pretty soon for that. And then in October, it's not our preseason, but for the East Coast Hockey League, that is the nation's premier, actually North America's premier AA level professional hockey league. We will see the once hated Allen Americans will play here at the NYTEX Sports Center. Tickets are on sale now. They are going to be the home team, and they are going to play the Tulsa Oilers in a preseason showdown here. We hope to make it an annual thing. And you're starting to see in the East Coast League, you're starting to see a lot more familiar faces. Last year, former Keller High School stud Dalton Skelly and Lone Star Brahma stud defenseman applied his craft for the Allen Americans. I would expect him to be back this year, but that is up to Coach Chad Costello of the Allen Americans. But you're starting to see a lot more former Brahmas in that league. So who knows? There could be several familiar faces. And that's a 7:30 start. Pro hockey is back at NYTEX. We're fired up about that. And then hockey's back. We've got, what is it, Sammy? How many days till main camp we got here?
It looks like we've got 6 more sleeps
6 more sleeps.
till main camp.
Unless you choose to do an all-nighter, then maybe 5 more sleeps. It's up to you. It's up to each person. Yeah, main camp will be here July. The first game is Friday the 14th. I believe that's correct.
That is correct, but we're waiting for the coaches to send us that information, and we'll send it out on the socials.
There you go. Sending it out on the socials. Make sure you watch the socials. A lot of information coming via those channels very soon. Strong camp this year. Obviously, we have big shoes to fill. We won't have Arthur Smith or William Graham this year, so the netminder position needs to be shored up, and a lot of great players that we're going to have to replace. So it should be good. That's free to the public. It's in the main rink this year, so come on out. Once the schedule comes out for that, just come on out. It's pretty much hockey all weekend. The game you really want to see is and forgive me for leaning over, my vision is slipping. July 17th, Monday, that will be the final All-Star game where you're basically going to get a look at who's, coming to training camp for Lone Star Brahmas. And speaking of camps, Sammy, we had it first this year. We had a goalie camp. That was pretty
terribly
cool.
excited about the goalie camp. I mean, it's no secret that's my favorite position. It's the one I understand the best, and I'm not the best of hockey minds, but it was really spectacular to show you this footage of 30 goalies on the ice at the same time.
I know. It was like it was very odd to see everybody pour out of the side door here in the main rink at just goalies, and it seemed like they came on the ice by age. You had little 10U players all the way up to some high school age players and junior players. It was really cool. And that was kudos to Knut Anderson, Frank Trezera for putting that on, and a new face. It was his first time to be on the ice here at NYTEX, but that's NA3HL assistant coach and NAHL and NA3HL goalie coach Brooks DiMarino, who will be moving down here in a couple weeks. Brooks is a great guy. He's got a lot of experience. He is a young man, former player. He knows the position. He has worked with several goalies in the North American Hockey League, including a guy who's going to split time in the net in a couple years at Princeton with Arthur Smith. Keyswitter, I believe was his name when he was in Corpus last year. So Brooks has a lot of experience, and he did a fantastic job. It was really cool to see a goalie camp. And look, Lone Star's proven if you have a good goalie, good things can happen. So we're going to put a lot more energy into goaltending this year. And also new to the Junior Brahma coaching roster is former East Coast Hockey League star Jackson Leef, who we will be playing an interview from our special correspondent Jeffery Fink, new member of the NYTEX and Brahmas Media team here in just a minute. Leef is coaching 18U and 16U. You'll hear all about it, so I don't want to steal any of Jeffrey's thunder, but more announcements are going to be coming here, as Sam will tell you. Watch the social channel. People have been asking me when are promotions coming out. We'll talk about those probably in the next 7 to 10 days and put out a list of promotions. We know opening night is in September, so it'll be some sort of giveaway that night, either magnet schedule or koozie schedule. We don't know. We'll figure that out. But promotions, and as always, you can email chad.brahmas@gmail.com or samuel.brahmas@gmail.com with your ideas. I hear there's a new chicken sandwich that's going to be hitting the concessions. I'm excited about that. I like chicken. You like chicken?
Man, I will eat chicken any which way you want, but I mean, chicken sandwich is one of the top chicken food units that I'm aware of.
Chicken sandwich is one of the top chicken food units. I'm more of a wings guy. We will have an announcement on an official wing of the NYTEX Sports Center coming soon. The official
chicken wings.
The official wings of the NYTEX Sports Center. I would love to say great job by our sales team. Jess, Zach, and Connor have been really killing it in the off season. We've got some really cool new partners that are going to be joining the flock. But I don't know what else. So where we're going to take you now is to the owner's suite just above the southern end of the NYTEX Sports Center's main rink, where our very own special correspondent, Jeffery Fink, has a sit down with Jackson Leef. And I will say he's part of the family. He played for the Tornado when he was in the North American Hockey League. So he is, he's one of you. So enjoy this interview. And until then, I love you.
Welcome to Brahma Land here at the NYTEX Sports Center. My name is Jeffery Fink, part of the Brahmas organization, joined by the brand new 18U coach. He is a former Robertson Cup champion and Kelly Cup champion of the ECHL. I did a little bit of a hockey DB dive. Cool. Had to do a little research. But Jackson Leef here joining us at NYTEX. Jackson, thanks for the time. Real quick, just first off, what's it like being here at NYTEX? What's it like, the atmosphere here? You're here in the off season, but what's it been like for you kind of returning to North Texas again?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Obviously a little different than where I finished and with the Texas Tornado, but still same type of feel with the NA program. Great facility here, close to the house I'm living in right now, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Well, I think everyone's excited to have you back. Obviously, the 18U market is a tad bit saturated, kind of like we were talking about beforehand with prep schools and high schools. What's got you most excited about being back with this age group and really kind of, busting your chops as far as the coaching goes for this specific age?
I think that specific age is very relatable to me. Just coming out of the game, it's an older group of guys, and I feel like I can relate to them very well. I'm really excited to jump in, and I think they can kind of take a more adult approach to things, which makes my job a little bit easier coming from a playing career. So I think it'll be a great transition.
Now, you kind of mentioned your pro playing career in the Texas Tornado, obviously. Coming back here again, for those that are unfamiliar, the Texas Tornado, or what the Brahmas before the Brahmas got into the NAHL, what do you kind of have from your experience with the Tornado that you're going to pass on to these kids, because they're about the same age or getting to that age where they can be kind of in that upper echelon of the null?
I think being detail-oriented was a big thing with me when I stepped up from midget hockey to a junior role. Kind of showing up every day with a good mindset and willing to learn attitude. I think if I can kind of pass on some of the structural points that I gained through my junior days and pro career, if that can rub off onto these kids, I think that'll be a positive thing that I can add. Yeah,
absolutely. And what some people may not know is your dad has a very history background in coaching hockey. What was it like kind of growing up with him, and what are you going to take most from him and learning from him from the coaching aspect?
I think he just showed a great professionalism growing up. He played for the Fort Wayne Comets in my hometown, so that's why I'm from Fort Wayne. Met my mom there. Just him being a good pro. Growing up, I didn't really understand it that much, but looking back at it now, I think he brought a lot of that professionalism to his day-to-day life when I was growing up. So I know he brought that as a coach when he was coaching me growing up, and that kind of attributes to a lot of what I know as a coach too. So,
and you do have some experience coaching. Can you kind of take us through what you've got going so far, what you've learned so far, and kind of what you've done leading up to this point here with the Brahmas organization?
Yeah, so forever, as long as I can remember, the last 10, 15 years-ish, I've been doing skills and development in the summers with kids from an early age to the 18-year-olds. So I've been hands-on with a lot of these kids for many years. It allowed me to stay into the game in the summers while I was playing. So coaching has kind of been a part of my playing career the whole time too.
So speaking of your playing career, this is a question that I've got some experience asking some former and current hockey players. So I'm going to kind of throw you a curveball. Hollywood calls and says, Jackson Leef, we want to make a movie about your life, but we need your help picking who's going to play you in your biography. What actor is getting the call to play Jackson Leef in the story about your life? And don't be modest. If you want to say Brad Pitt, just go for it.
I was going to say Brad Pitt. Yeah, that's probably the go-to right there. Maybe add a little cool aspect to it. Maybe a little Matthew McConaughey would be pretty sweet. So But Brad Pitt, that's funny. That came to mind right away. So,
The sad part is this is the second time I've talked about Brad Pitt today, and it's unrelated. But moving on from that, I think everyone's super excited to have you here. Obviously, what are you going to miss most about your playing career? If you don't mind me asking.
Going to the rink every day and being with my teammates is something I'm going to miss. That's what I cherish most when I was playing. But I also get that aspect with coaching too.
Right.
So I think it'll be an awesome transition into coaching, kind of getting that back of what I'm missing.
Right.
But competing at a high level and in front of fans is an awesome experience, and I'm glad I got to do it for as long as I did. But now I get to give back to the players that are maybe something they want to do, give their shot at it, maybe a professional career too. So giving back to the game is what I'm looking forward to the most now.
Awesome. Have you reached out to any former coaches and kind of said, hey, I'm kind of in your seat now. Do you have any advice? Obviously, I'm guessing you've talked to your dad a little bit about that, but are there any past coaches that you've had experience working with that you kind of reached out to and said, hey, can I get a little bit of advice? Like, how do I really bring these kids in the room?
Right. I talked to my coach a little bit from last year, told him I was getting into coaching, so I got a little bit of advice from him. But it's been a pretty quick transition this far. It's only been a couple months since I retired and transitioned into coaching full time. So there's definitely going to be a lot of phone calls on my schedule from some of the amazing coaches that I had throughout my career. One that pops up in my head right now is Colin Chalk. He was my mentor for a long time, and he was my coach in Brampton my first few years in the ECHL, and he had a great impact on me as a coach and as a player. So he'll be definitely one. And then my old coach from the Texas Tornado, I have on my list of guys to call too, Tony Curtali. He was down with the Texas Tornado for a really long time, and was able to win a championship with him, and I learned a lot from him, and I think I pass on a lot of his knowledge to my players now. So those are two guys that came to mind right away when you asked that question, that are definitely on my list of guys to call and get advice from.
Absolutely. Sure. Well, I can attest that you still got it with the shot. I may or may not have heard the story about one of the panes of glass being victim to the slap shot. So, it's still there. We all see it. We all hear it.
Back to reality. They made me help them clean it up.
Yeah.
So.
It's the promise thing. We're all family now, so we all have to help each other out. Last question I have for you before we sign off from this. Do you have any suits picked out already?
Suits.
Are you gonna go like an old school like warm up style, or are we gonna get a 3-piece suit behind the bench this year?
I know that we're in Texas, so I was maybe gonna add a little cowboy hat to the mix. I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead, but definitely something I'll have to figure out.
Maybe we'll get you a sponsor. We'll get you signed up. Hopefully something a little bit higher up than JCPenney, but we'll work with it.
Maybe we get the credit card, the team credit card. We'll go over to some nice suit place around here. Maybe you have a place.
Italian only.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Jackson, I think we're all super excited to see what you have behind the bench coming out this season. Thank you for your time, and obviously we're looking forward to seeing you here with the Brahmas family more often. So the last thing I have beside the suit question is really, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind here once you maybe move up to the next level or move up to a different tier?
Yeah, I just want to create a good atmosphere for these kids. Obviously not all of them will have the goal to move on and play, but for those that do, I want to help them in that process. And then also I just want a positive impact on their playing career, so when they look back they can say that was an awesome year. So I'm gonna take it one step at a time, but I think just creating a solid atmosphere for these kids will be kind of the first thing on my list.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, Jackson, thank you for your time. Good luck this season. And stay tuned to all of our Brahmas websites and social media channels, where we'll be having more interviews like this throughout the entire season. Thanks. Go Brahmas.
I'm one of you!
It's me, brother.
Okay, I got it, guys. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best.
Thank
that
you,
ever
lads.
was. Love you, mean it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day.
Barbasol contest.
All right, end recording. End interaction.